Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Welcome back, everyone. We are certainly giving you some info that'll help you be more successful when you're out there on the water. Number one, once you hook a fish, how to net it the right way, what net to use, and he described, I think, again, grab that net again, the perfect size salmon net for everything that we do here in the Northwest. You know, there are fish around that are going to be in the 30, 40-pound class, but this is all you need. The big giant nets absolutely are usable, but if you're like myself, you want something that can get in the boat a little bit easier, hence the reason why I'm using the one that you see back here. It's just a little bit more user-friendly, but you got to be relatively good at it. With a larger size net, you can have a little bit more room for error, but don't make any error. Don't knock the fish off. I got to say that right now, because it will do that if you do things the wrong way. But, okay, so Beckman P-Line, though, has something coming up over at Fisherman's, and I mentioned this before we cut to the break. What's going to be happening here coming up?
So starting on the 21st, they're going to have their Memorial Day weekend sale or Memorial Day sale, and they're going to have all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So P-Line wise, they're going to have all P-Line products are going to be 25% off. All Beckman nets and fillet knives are going to be 25% off. And then we're doing bringing back the penny a yard.
That's the term I was referring to, penny a yard.
Yeah.
You guys remember that? You got to be older to remember penny a yard. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a neat deal, and they basically brought it back as a promotion, kind of a throwback thing, and I kind of have to apologize to all the employees behind the counter because they're going to be doing that for like 8 hours a day.
You know, because you used to work there.
I did it, yeah.
So he knows what that's going to be like. You can go in and get your reels filled up, penny a yard. Is that all the different versions of line, or just any P-Line?
Mono, Copolbert, P-Lines.
Any of the braids, or is that different?
Braids,
no braids. All right, well, of course, you're not going to get that. Come on! Jeez, let's twist our arm on that one. If we make enough of a stink, maybe they'll do it, right? But anyway, that's a heck of a deal on getting your reels filled up, especially if you're trout fishing and you want to have mono on those reels, fluoro, whatever it might be. We get that question a lot about the applications for fluoro as a main line. P-Line is one of the leaders. If you get into bass fishing at all, especially if you watch some of the tournaments, there's P-Lines on all these boats for a reason. They use a lot of that fluorocarbon for bass fishing, and a lot of you out there now are bass fishing. Also something to use for walleye as well because of sink rate and how it actually fishes, especially with bottom walkers. So kind of keep that in line. Or in mind. This upcoming segment, though, we're going to have the deal of the week for Fisherman's Marine, so I'll also give you a little bit of a lineup on that as well. Okay, so have you been fishing?
I have been in the Bahamas fishing, so that's the lobster that you saw.
Yeah. Any reports that you gave? You hearing anything from your buddies?
If anybody's going, that
he can give up without getting in trouble.
Right. I mean, obviously, Wind River and Drano. They're on fire.
He said it, not me. Send him.
We're not supposed to say it. I know.
It's
There's no
funny.
secrets there at that place, right?
I mentioned it a couple times. I think a couple weeks ago, and I got the message. Oh, you can't be talking about yet.
Yeah. If you don't know what's going on right now,
then it's nuts. I mean, it's really it's nuts everywhere. What's next on the list for you and your family? You gonna be doing any fishing, traveling? What are you gonna do?
Probably do some summer Chinook if we get the opportunity. It just depends on what happens there, but that's going to be my next real fishery. So,
gotcha. And then you're already getting ready for hunting season coming up?
Yep, fall Chinook and hunting season. So,
all right. Are you going to hunt in Oregon this year? Are you going to travel again? Or
We're
what are you
going to
going
go back to Montana. Do the Eastern Montana thing. We've done that the last, about 10 times in the last 11 years.
All right, so. I gotcha. Yeah. Which is understandable. I mean, think about what's going on right now. May 15th is our deadline for the draw. Washington is now introducing brown bears. Have you heard this?
Yeah.
They're introducing brown bears to Washington. This is one of the dumbest things. I mean, honestly, you can't make this stuff up. They introduced wolves, they introduced bears, and then they were like, hey, you want to put in for your big game tag? Sure. Right. I mean, it just kills me, man. Yeah. People have been sending us information on this for the last couple of weeks. I haven't delved into it much, but a hunter like yourself, I got to get your opinion. If you're in the woods, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, right? Brown bear is a real thing. What are your thoughts? Do you think that's a benefit to our herds here in Oregon and Washington?
I don't see it. Well, there's a reason I'm in Montana right now.
Yeah.
You know, I've hunted Montana the last, like I say, 10 years, and there's a reason.
Yeah.
It's just I watched it go like this over the last 30 years.
And now they want to bump it up. Their own words, right? They want to bump up the populations of deer and elk in our two states because it's obviously a real deal. But yet they introduce more predators alongside massive packs of wolves these days. I mean, the genius behind all this stuff is just mind-boggling to me, which is the reason why you might want to get into fishing, and Beckman nets are something that you're going to need, and P-line as well. I'm really interested to see how this all plays out the next 5 or 10 years, because this is all going to start real soon. It's concerning for me. With an 11-year-old in 10 years or so, if she starts to hunt on her own, I'm not going to be very happy with her being out in the woods with brown bear.
Right.
Where you hunt in Montana, though, there's brown bear in that area.
We're up northeast, so there's not very many up there. We're out of that area. We're not as nervous as the guys
when we were
down
in Wyoming, the guys had mentioned that, you know, if you go up into the real woods, we were antelope hunting, we weren't actually going up into the woods. They were like, hey, you pay attention.
It's a legit thing.
It's a legit thing, and they want to put more of them out there on purpose. It's just look it up if you're unaware, and then you can scratch your head. Somebody probably voted for some of these people. Anyway, all right, thanks for coming in. We appreciate you sharing some info. Take advantage of the deals for Beckman Net and P-line, and we'll talk to you soon, too, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll be back in just a minute. We got the deal of the week for Fisherman's Marine to wrap things up. We got a really good show lined up for you tomorrow as well. We'll be right back.